Benghazi is now back in the headlines. This week, senators will get their chance to grill Defense Secretary Leon Panetta about the deadly Benghazi terror attack. But Secretary Panetta is not waiting to defend the U.S. response to the assault yesterday. He took to the talk shows saying there just wasn't enough time to respond.
This is not 911. You cannot just simply call and expect within 2 minutes to have a team in place. It takes time. That's the nature of it. Our people are there. They're in position to move, but we've got to have good intelligence that gives us a heads up that something's going to happen.
A lot of that still is dependent on whether intelligence tells us that we've got a problem and gives us enough warning so that we can get to the place so that we can respond.
Did you have enough time to get there in time? You didn't have enough warning to know them to
No,
Benghazi.
we did not.
Senator Lindsey Graham is here. Senator, what do you think of Secretary Panetta's explanation that there was not enough time to respond?
Well, we'll find more about one. I think he's done generally a good job at 7 hours. On September the 11th, a day of heightened concern, name one place in the world where it was more dangerous than Benghazi, Libya. There are few, but not many. And what better intelligence could you have about the threat in Libya than from the ambassador from Libya, the U.S. ambassador, telling us August the 16th, if we're attacked in a coordinated fashion, we can't defend the consulate, and there are al-Qaeda flags flying over government offices in Benghazi. There is no Libyan government to help us. We were blind. We did not have a clear-eyed assessment. And what better intelligence could you get about the situation in Benghazi than from Chris Stevens himself?
What do you think he is? How is he going to answer that question?
I think President Obama has really gotten away with a lot because of the lack of inquiry by the mainstream media. Why, Mr. Secretary, were you ever informed by the State Department about the threats that existed in Libya, particularly Benghazi? Were you aware of the fact that militias had not been disarmed but were growing in influence? Were you aware of the fact that our consulate was bombed in April and June? Were you aware of the fact...
If he says no to any of those, that's a problem, because it seems like that's like being asleep at the wheel.
Well,
these have been hot
Exactly.
spots, and the British pulled out in June. So I mean, it's not like, you know,
Exactly.
the rest of us knew.
You know, we came to the aid of the British ambassador in June when he was attacked, his convoy was attacked. Do you know who rescued the British ambassador? U.S. forces. We got there in 20 minutes in September. Why couldn't we get to our own ambassador?
What do you make of that new Secretary of State, John Kerry, went to visit the Benghazi survivors over the weekend at Walter Reed?
Well, I've been asking, in November we wrote the president, the person I blame above all others is President Obama. Did you know, President Obama, about the April and June attacks? Why weren't the Congress informed of who the survivors were? They were interviewed 2 days after the attack in Germany by the FBI. You know, the CIA never called up the FBI and say, what did they say about the attack? If you had talked to the survivors, you would have known it was a coordinated terrorist attack and not a mob.
Is there? Are you going to vote for Senator Hagel for defense?
We're going to. I thought his confirmation hearing was disturbing.
Does that mean you may still vote for him?
We don't have enough information. We haven't gotten the information we requested. I don't think we should vote on Chuck Hagel until we get all the things we requested about the speeches he's made. But as to whether or not I will vote for him, I hope the administration will reconsider his nomination. He's a good man, but these are dangerous times. What kind of signal are you sending to the Iranians when your Secretary of Defense seems to be clueless about what our policy is?
Are you going to try to hold it up in any way? Filibuster? Are you going to put a hold on it?
I'm going to try to make sure I get all the information. He made 15 speeches for money. I want to know what he said. I want to get all the information available to us before we make an informed decision. But I can tell you this, I've never seen the world more dangerous than it is now. There are more Benghazis coming. And before we confirm a new Secretary of Defense, we've got to find out what happened in Benghazi and find out exactly what Chuck Hagel's been saying for all these years.
Senator, nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.